everybody, it's Camille Martin with Love to Lose, and this is where I teach you how to love your life and lose the weight. I know you are very familiar with the feeling of dieting and failing, or else you wouldn't be here, right? So diets, as I say over and over again, one of the reasons they fail is that you are trying not to, constantly cutting out, eliminating, getting rid of, or avoiding, which takes tremendous willpower. And willpower runs out, and then what happens? You fail and you have to start all over again. And worse, you feel like a failure. So in this week's video, I want to give you a very simple solution that will help you get out of this trap. And in order to illustrate how it works, I'm going to tell you a quick story about myself. So when I was in college, there was a restaurant right around the corner from where I lived, and it had this dish that I absolutely loved. It was blackened chicken pasta, and it was just pasta noodles, angel hair pasta with a, swimming in cream sauce with blackened chicken on top. It was super spicy, and it was tons of food, probably enough for 2 people. I can't even imagine eating this now because number one, I don't even eat meat, but cream sauce and heavy dishes like that, I just don't eat that anymore. But anyway, we went there at least once a weekend, and I got that dish every single time, and I really looked forward to it. That's how much I loved it. However, every single time I ate this meal and I cleaned my plate, I ate the whole thing. It was so much food. Every time I did this and drank probably too much wine, I would go to bed that night and not even be able to sleep because I had heartburn and I just felt completely disgusting. So I wouldn't sleep. I would wake up feeling gross and heavy. And I really knew that it was not healthy for me, and I wanted to quit eating it. But no matter how hard I tried to go to the restaurant, I promised myself I was gonna get a salad instead. I was not gonna get that blackened chicken pasta. Every single time I showed up at the restaurant, I asked the waiter for my favorite meal. So one night, for whatever reason, I asked the waiter if he could bring me a side of broccoli to go with my pasta. And you know what? Making that one small change made me feel like I had done something healthy, which I had, even though I cleaned my plate and finished the pasta. But the next time I went, I started making more changes, and every small change I made me feel so much better, and it also improved the nutritional quality of the meal. So I started adding more vegetables, and then those vegetables eventually displaced the chicken, and then I started ordering the pasta with tomato sauce rather than cream sauce. And then I also started asking the waiter if he could box up half of the meal before he even brought it to the table. So all of those simple additions ended up changing my unhealthy pasta dish into a completely new meal. So as I said earlier, diets don't work because they're all about using willpower and trying not to do things rather than making small healthy changes like what I did with my pasta dish. And the worst part about it is that not only do diets just not work, it's the feeling of failure that you're taking on that actually pushes you to do the things that you're trying not to do. So when I was failing miserably at not ordering a salad and continuing to get this unhealthy dish over and over and over again, I felt like such a failure, and it just made me want to go back to that restaurant and inhale a bunch of pasta and drink a bunch of wine again. So I want to tell you now 3 reasons why adding rather than subtracting works so much better. So the first reason that adding rather than subtracting works is that obviously it's easier to add something small rather than eliminate something big. And you don't have to use willpower to do this. And once you make one small change successfully, it boosts your confidence, which is sorely needed if you've been dieting and failing for years on end. The second reason it works better is that once you start making these small changes, it makes it easier to make even more small changes. With that added confidence that you have, you feel like you've taken charge, and you keep making more small changes. That gives you momentum, which helps you see results that much faster. The third reason it works better, and this is a really interesting little side effect to all of this, is that it helps you see things differently. You're making distinctions when you start adding changes over time. So for example, in my story about the blackened chicken pasta, I started to see over time, I feel a lot better when I don't eat a huge plate of spicy pasta, loaded with cream sauce, I don't feel gross. I don't feel like I'm weighed down. I don't have heartburn, and I can sleep better. So making these kinds of distinctions is huge. I also made a distinction that I don't need to eat so much food in order to feel full. So making small changes over time gives you distinctions and information that can help you make even more changes in the future. So remember my story and what I did so that you can take that into the future for when you're going to make your changes. Instead of eliminating, I added. Instead of stopping, I started. And instead of failing, I succeeded. Make your own additions rather than subtractions, and you will succeed too. I hope these tips will be helpful to you, and if you like the video, make sure to like it and share it with a friend. And if you're not already signed up to get my weekly newsletter, head over to my website at CamilleMartinRD.com and get yourself signed up and get tips and inspiration and motivation on your weight loss journey every single Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you here next time on Love to Lose.